and they cut my shirt to expose it, and then they put this layer of fake blood, which was just corn syrup and food coloring, so she could actually eat it. And then they put the noodles on me and put some more. I remember her just digging in and eating like this, and then going back, and I'm like, there's probably chest hair getting in there, and I'm so sorry.
Now, you mentioned earlier you do a lot of opening day stuff for Disney. So did you get early access or opening day access to Galaxy's Edge when it opened?
I didn't do anything with Galaxy's Edge. It was my choice. I could have gone opening day. I could have done so much stuff with it. I just chose not to, only because it's kind of hard for me to explain this without being like, I'm not a Star Wars fan. I like Star Wars. I'm not the Star Wars guy. And there are so many people in this world who are the Star Wars guy and girl, or whatever you want to call them, the Star Wars person. And so I thought one less person is going to make that other person happy who wants to get in. So I just waited a couple of days, and I've done everything. I've done Rise the Resistance several times. Did what's it called? The Millennium Falcon ride.
Smuggler's Run.
Smuggler's Run. Gone into the cantina. I mean, I've done everything. Tried Blue and Green Milk. There's not anything in the land I have not done except build a lightsaber, which I'm not going to.
Yeah, because how much is it? Like $200?
I think it's like $199.99. Now, I did get a pass holder. Like, I got to go in. I take that back, man. I did get to do something. I got to do a pass holder preview thing. And they booked me a reservation at the cantina, and I got a fast pass for Smuggler's Run, and or return time for Smuggler's Run. They told me my time I could go in, and it was awesome because there was not a lot of people in there. It was just certain pass holders, so you got to do it. And I rode Smuggler's Run 4 times that day, and I got to do every single thing. My first time was the pilot. I got lucky.
Oh wow,
nice.
And then I just did it again and kept doing the single rider, and then I went to the cantina and had breakfast there. I didn't get any food because I knew I was going to eat at the Backlot Express that day.
I love that. I hope that never goes away.
My favorite restaurant.
It's so good.
But I had 2 or 3 of the non-alcoholic drinks in the cantina because it was like 8:15 a.m. and I was like, do I want to drink a beer or an alcoholic beverage this early and then get on the Smuggler's Run? I don't think so. Mm-hmm. But I tried the non-alcoholic. They were okay. It was like Gatorade with boba tea stuff in it. Like, it was not, they weren't like thirst quenching, and it wasn't something like, oh, I want that again. But I bet the alcoholic beverages are delicious, but these, I guess they're just more fun for kids. But even with the normal kid drinks at Disney, I enjoy. I love a good Shirley Temple with a glow cube. But the food there, the Ronto wrap, man. Oh my gosh. It's like this pita bread with I think it is lamb. I don't know. Oh, wow. But it's kind of like a gyro almost.
Yeah.
If you've ever had a gyro, and they're delicious. I don't like the blue or green milk. I've tried them both.
Yeah.
It kind of has a popsicle wood taste. Tastes like you know when you finish a popsicle and you go and lick that last part, and you get that wood grain taste. Kind of has that mixed with soap.
Yeah, well, it's the soap I was going to say it's not creamy, it's oily.
Soapy.
Yeah.
I looked it up online. You can make it. Disney released like the ingredients and stuff. It's like rice milk and some other stuff in it. And I don't know.
Rice milk is probably the
Florida sun. I'm even like sometimes, if I'm not going to sit somewhere cool, I'll say no to a Dole Whip because anything cream or dairy in the Florida hot, in the hot Florida sun. Oh my gosh!
Probably why they didn't go with real like milk or cream.
Yeah, because it would stink over there. Probably very bad. The trash would be horrendous. Because I don't know if you guys like there's some trash cans over in like Frontierland that like not Disney doesn't forget about them, but like they just I don't know. They're near the Mickey
They can't get to
bar.
them fast enough. Yeah,
it's like the Mickey bar station, and it's like, you just smell it. You can smell it sometimes. It's pretty rough, but Yeah, I went in for the pass holder thing, man, and then I kind of stayed away from Galaxy's Edge for a couple of weeks.
Well,
Let
that makes
the
sense.
you know just let the stuff kind of die down.
You gotta, yeah, I guess you gotta weigh up whether you're the person to, whether you think you're the person to talk to other people about it or not.
Yeah, and I have so many friends who are like diehards. Like I know some people who go and like I have people who text me all the time when I'm going, and they'll see that I'm like at studios, and they're like, "Hey, can you go see if they have this crystal? Or I really need this thing." Like they're like I can't get out of work today. Can you go and see if they have it? And I'll go and look, and I'm like, "No, they don't have it. Sorry." And they're like, "Okay, it's okay." Like they're like diehards, and I'm like, I have my favorites. I have my favorite things. Star Wars really isn't my. I don't know why. I mean, I enjoy the film. I've seen them all.
It's like me with Harry Potter.
Yeah, I'm the same way with Harry Potter, man. Like they're cool.
I watch them. I have watched every single one that's come out, and I'm into it. But I'm not going to read the books once a year. I'm not going to watch the movies once a year.
Yeah. Well, I felt that way when I went to my brother and I went to the Wizarding World. I think it was the spring after it had opened. So it slightly died down, but it was still like, 90 minutes to get into the shop, and just it was crazy. And I loved it. And like the theming was probably it was second to Disney. I mean, it was, and that's big coming from me because I put theming almost above anything else. But I almost felt like I'm not really I felt like I wasn't enjoying it as much as like someone who is a diehard is. Like there's no way that I could enjoy it as much as that. I'm not going to buy the wand. I'm not going to buy all those different things.
That's how my brother is with the Simpsons. My brother is like the Simpsons dude, and every year when he comes to
content. That's like a lot of content.
Dude, he knows everything. It's so weird. Like he comes to Orlando once a year to see me, and we always have to go to Universal, and he wants to go to Simpsons. He wants to get his Duff, and during that time they always have the Dufftoberfest, which is their October Duff. It's so good, but he always has to go and get his stuff. But it's so weird, dude. Like we're walking around, and he'll see something like this little tiny detail on something. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's from like episode 6." This guy does this, and I'm like, wow. But I mean, I'm the same way with certain things. Like there are certain films and TV shows that I'm almost like Rain Man with. You could like play you could literally be like, okay, what's this? And push play and then push pause and let me hear like a snippet of something. I can tell you exactly what that's from, where it's, who's saying this, who's doing that. And it's like weird stuff. So I mean, I get it with people, but like, there hasn't been a thing like that in a theme park that's opened in a long time that I've been obsessed with. And I'm kind of thankful for that because it helps my wallet. But I do like that there are a lot of rumors and stuff like the Universal Classic Monsters might be having a new place in the new theme park. And because that's my jam. I will definitely be freaking out about that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to finally get that, hopefully get that fanboy feel. That's the way I was with Great Movie Ride though. When I would go into the Great Movie Ride, I would fanboy about the Chinese theater and the old movies and just little things in that attraction. So I've had my fair share of fanboy things, but I fanboy about weird stuff. It just depends on.
You said you're a big fan of classic monsters. Which rendition of King Kong is your absolute favorite?
Well, with King Kong, I've only seen the very first King Kong. The original was like stop motion, I guess. Yeah. Back then, and then I saw the most recent King Kong. I think the one with Jack Black.
Mm-hmm. Was that Skull Island?
Skull Island?
No, not Skull. Island. That was the 2005 Peter Jackson one.
Oh, was that? Oh, okay.
Okay.
The one with Jack Black, yeah.
I saw because I wanted to kind of know what was going on at the attraction type thing. It's weird. King Kong to me, it's like Godzilla. I have a lot of friends who are into Godzilla and stuff. I really can't get into it. I tried. I appreciate it. Now the first one when I saw it, I was like, okay, I can see why this is a classic film and why a lot of people put this up on a pedestal. and stuff. Like, this is mind blowing that they actually put this in theaters and people saw this. I'm sure it terrified audiences.
Yeah.
But I try to do the same thing with Godzilla, excuse me. And I have a lot of friends who's like collect King Kong and Godzilla figurines, and they love that stuff. I like Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
The Creature from the Black Lagoon to me is like such a weird concept, how there's so many, like, it's something this lady created. A lady created it, by the way. You know, a lot of people don't know that she was the artist behind the creature. And it was like this, they took old stories of Gilligan and, you know, the mermaid myths and the undersea life, and, you know, mixing it with a person who can actually walk and breathe like a human. And Universal took this whole thing and created this monster. And it's so iconic, just like Frankenstein's monster. You know, to me, those are the monsters like I'm really into. Like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein was not what Universal, you know, created. When she wrote the book, she had this different idea of the monster and how he looked. You know, so when you see those icons, those monsters and stuff, to me, it's almost like art. I mean, it's almost like I compare the official like sketch of the Creature from the Black Lagoon up there with like a Mona Lisa or something. Yeah. Like, you know, it's so iconic. Even little kids who've never seen the film, it's like, who is this? They're like, oh, that's Frankenstein.
Well, yeah, I think that's the point where it's gotten so pervasive into American culture and I guess what would it be, the zeitgeist, where it's not just its own thing. It has all these like tendrils that have influenced this and this and this, which go on, and like it's like that's the daddy, you know, for like horror and thrillers and things, you know, like that is like the progenitor of all that. So.
I love the horror, the whole horror community. I'm very thankful that I was welcomed into the horror community the way I was with my channel and stuff too, because with my channel, I do incorporate some horror things. I've done some horror filming locations, some obscure films that no one's really ever seen or cared about. And then some that some people are like, that's not a horror. Like I did Hocus Pocus, and they're like, that's not horror. I'm like, yeah, well, you know, it's
awesome though.
You horror fans are wearing your Sanderson Sisters t-shirt. So give me a break. But, you know, I did the Halloween filming locations, just things like that. And I'm not just a Disney guy, but I'm kind of known in the Disney community as a Disney, you know, YouTuber, but I'm not just a Disney YouTuber. So it was kind of nice. Like, and I think the reason why I was welcomed into the horror community so much is because of my background with punk rock music and, you know, knowing these people and those people and things like that. And these people would see me at different conventions and stuff. They're like, oh, we didn't know you were into this stuff. I'm like, yeah, yeah, dude. Horror's my jam. I love a good horror film.
I get too scared. So
it depends on what, I mean, it depends on what it is.
Have you ever been in a low budget horror movie?
Yes, but I don't think it ever got released. I forgot what I did in it. This was long ago when I was in my band, and the guy who actually shot one of my band's music videos was like, my brother and I are shooting this low budget zombie film. Could you be in it? And I was like, yeah, what do I need to do? And he was like, wear a cardigan sweater and a white t-shirt under that you don't care about anymore. And we're going to bloody it up, and we're going to put noodles on you with blood. And we just want you to lay there. And so that was what I did. I was just a victim that was kind of like, I think I was like a guy who had died in his car. The zombies pulled me out, and I never found anything from it.
It's like you weren't dead. You just really love noodles a bit too much.
Pretty much. They were just growing out of my chest. But I remember laying there on this nasty concrete in the middle of this small town in Mississippi, and the poor girl who was the zombie is sitting there, and they cut my shirt to expose it, and then they put this layer of fake blood, which was just corn syrup and food coloring, so she could actually eat it. And then they put the noodles on me and put some more. And I remember her just digging in and eating like this, and then going back, and I'm like, there's probably chest hair getting in there, and I'm so sorry. And all this stuff. And yeah, no, I would love to do that kind of stuff. Like if there's anybody in Orlando doing low budget horror stuff, call me. I'll do it. Would love to do that kind of stuff. I was in a Avengers mockumentary. Basically, I'm not even a superhero fan, so it was like, why am I doing this? We had the Infinity Gauntlet, and it was like modern uses for the Infinity Gauntlet. And so I'm standing in line ordering a coffee, and this goody two shoes cool daddy walks in. He's like, excuse me, and like pushes me out of the way, and I'm like, what? And he goes up and orders, and he's like, pushes me out of the way to get out of line. And so I walk up, and I'm like, can I get a cold brew? And then I turn around, and I have the Infinity Gauntlet, and you just see me do this. And when I close the fist, the guy it cuts to him, and he's drinking his drink, and it fills up with bubbles, and he spits it out. I turned it into soap. It's little things like that where we cut to different scenes of people.
Like minor annoyances.
Yep, people using it to do different things. And it was
this for
cool.
Your channel?
No, this was not for my channel. These were just a bunch of local actors in Orlando that I'm friends with. People who do different things in the entertainment industry here. Like I have a bunch of friends who do stunt stuff in Orlando, and a lot of them called me and they were like, "Hey man, we need a guy who's like kind of like just like the everyday like dude. Can you come and do this?" And I was like, "Yeah." They were like, "Sweet, you kind of just look like an everyday guy, you know." And so it worked out. It was cool. I can't remember like where it went, but they entered it into a couple of film festival things just as a joke kind of thing. We weren't trying to get anything off of it because there was just so much copyright that we couldn't even begin to sort things out. But it was fun nonetheless.
Well, Nick, I remember we had a thing that back when Nick and I worked together, there was a thing that we had to bloody and dirty me up. You remember that?
Yeah, because you were playing a drunk guy.
I was playing a drunk baseball game fan who had who quote unquote
from the dime of beer night.
Yeah, 10-cent beer night back in Cleveland. Yeah. So I was portraying him. So
Micah, have you ever heard of that? You've heard of that story?
No.
Okay. So yeah. So 10-cent beer night.
Baseball history.
Yeah. So this was June 4th, 1974. The Cleveland Indians, they are not that good right now. Well, they're not very good. Anyway, in 1974, they weren't good. So they had this idea, and Nick, correct? Was this Bill Veeck who did it?
No, he would have been gone by then. But
it was.
It was this promotion. It was this promotion basically, and they were like, okay, we need to fill the seats. Let's do, instead of dime a dog, let's do dime a beer. And
this is Municipal Stadium. Municipal Stadium in Cleveland was where the Browns played. This is where the Indians played. It had 80,000 seats. Like, this is massive. They built it back in the 30s. It's gone now. But yeah,
this
so they were trying
like a couple of bucks nowadays,
Oh yeah. So
like way cheap.
Basically just you could go in for like $2. You got a bleacher seat and 10 beer tickets or what, 20 beer tickets, and they just had like a van and like these two girls who were just trying to pour the beers.
Oh, and it was all over. Yeah, and at every
turned into a riot, like a full-on riot.
So if you wouldn't imagine, 10-cent beer is incredibly popular, and in the first, since it was the first time anybody had done this, I don't even think they really considered the scope of what could happen when you have 80,000 people who can drink a whole excessive amount.
Well, and it was also like all the college kids were home. College kids were back up in Cleveland, and yeah.
So if you watch, they are there's literally, the game starts out pretty subdued, just a normal game, and as the game goes on, people they have to eventually cancel the game because people are running on this field, they're stealing bases. There's a huge storming of the field by all
these beer bottles and
fans. Yeah, and everybody is making bad decisions in a scale of 80,000 people. So
all of the bases got stolen. They never got recovered.
They never found any of the bases from that game.
Oh man.
Yeah. If you want anybody watching or listening, which doesn't look like we have many people, that's okay.
We're here.
But you can go on YouTube, just watch like a little synopsis of it, because it's literally one of the craziest things. At some point, the bartenders were just leaving. They couldn't deal with it anymore, so you literally had optics of people pouring beers right out of the tap into their mouths. I mean, they didn't know how to control it, and it was such a hit. The Indians actually did it again. Like a few months later, although this time they would really
like a 10, like a 5 beer maximum or something.
Yeah,
like that.
They would hinder people.
To show how much of just a disaster it was, the MLB to this day will not release any footage. So any footage that you find, and you won't find much, like it is not. You don't have the express written consent of the MLB, because they want you to not think it exists. Except the Cleveland Indians have sold shirts that says "I survived 10-cent beer night." Yeah. So, So, but I was playing this guy, and so I had to get all bloodied up and dirtied up, and Nick had me roll around the front in the grass to get
just
I
taking grass and rubbing it all over his back.
Yeah,
it was a great time, and you got to drink. If I remember,
and I did. I got to drink.
They actually let you drink beer.
It was wonderful.
On the clock. That was great.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man.
I forgot what we were talking about.
Film being filming process. I wrote a horror film a couple of years ago. It was not good.
Most of them aren't, so you're fine.
Yeah, it was a 3-week challenge. There's a little competition that they do every October, Halloween area, where in 3 weeks you have to finish a film, and you don't know what topic you're writing about until you select it the day of. So, it's not like you can have something in your back pocket and then make that in the 3 weeks. It's like you get basically a couple days to write it, and then 3 weeks to do everything else.
Yeah.
So it was fun. I had a lot of fun. Wouldn't do it again. It was stressful.
I can imagine. I can totally imagine, man. Deadline stuff, not fun.
Well, they also had I will say, I was really impressed with what other people were able to do. And when I looked at our film, I was like, wow, I have so many ideas for a next time. If only this wasn't so freaking stressful.
Yeah. That's okay. That's kind of the reason why when I do some of my YouTube videos and stuff, I don't ever really go and wing it. I usually go and figure out what I want to show, what the topic's going to be, try to research as much as I can, look up on Google Earth before I even drive to the location if it's not at the park, and if it's not in a theme park or anything, see where I can park my car, where I can stand safely and film, do that whole kind of thing, because I've gone in places all of a sudden it just clicked in my head oh, I'm gonna go film this today, and I drive and I get out there and I'm like, next time I'll be more prepared, So now it's it's insane. Even if I know the place like the back of my hand, I still go on Google Earth, look around the situation. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna park here, I'm gonna set up my camera here, I'm gonna film here, make sure I get this shot, that shot. I'll sometimes write down monologue, pieces of make sure you mention this, and this, and put it in my notes on my phone. And yeah, I usually come home with 20 minutes full of footage, and I trim it down to 8 minutes.
Yeah. Digestible content.
Yeah, that's just the way you got to do it, though. I've learned to do that because I used to just film just enough, and I get home and something was wrong or something was not usable, and then it's crap. So
yeah. Well, So we are nearing the hour mark.
This has flown by, man.
Yeah,
Always
we
does, man.
are. We'll go ahead and do a "What's irking you this week," and then I say we tell people where to find us, and fuck right off.
This is a family station.
You just earned your explicit content marker. There you
I
go.
was put it there anyway. Now I
Proud of you.
So Tim, without further ado, what's irking you this week?
Well, I'm going to actually call an audible because I don't have a what's irking me, but I do have a sports minute.
Okay, there's nothing that has pissed you off in the last week?
I don't know. We had to wait for a little while at Swenson's today. We went and got Swenson's today. Yeah.
Go ahead with your sports minute.
Okay, so it's not really a minute, but I don't know if either of you love baseball. I love baseball, and I have been it's been irking me that baseball is not being played, but obviously safety. But there is baseball being played, and it is the Korean baseball organization, the KBO. I'm rooting for my team, the Lottie Giants.
The Lottie freaking does.
Lottie Giants. They also own a team in Japan. So it's a rollicking good time in Korea. The NC Dinos and the Lottie Giants are 4-0. The normally stalwart Kia Tigers down in the basement at 1-4. Their only win being a 12-3 slobber knocking of the Samsung somethings. But yeah, and if you ever want to watch them, ESPN is showing them at 1 a.m. every morning Eastern Standard. Yep. So I actually watched opening day. Tuesday?
That's cool. You're like discovering new sports.
Yeah.
It's American sports.
Yeah, and I think I've watched some of like the Japanese league in the past, but I never watched. I really didn't even know that.
Your sportsman is up.
Damn it. Well, it'll be next time.
Okay, Micah, anything irking you this week?
Yes. These people, like, they get these masks. The mask we're supposed to wear, and they're supposed to do this. They're doing this.
Oh, not the nose. Go.
I was in Walmart today, and the employees had them on, and they're just sitting on their chin. I'm like, this isn't fashion.
Unless you're making a beard,
like,
and you're making.
If you're gonna wear a hat, you won't wear it like this. Put the dang hat on. It's okay to wear it this way. Heck, I'll even take this way. But don't you know what I mean? It's like, I don't understand. Put the freaking mask over your nose and your mouth, and because you might as well take it off.
Yeah,
you might as well take it off.
Yeah.
It hurts me to no end, man.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is it only really works well if two people, or both people are wearing it. So, if you're wearing it like that, I might as well take it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not solving anything, but I don't mind, in certain Walmarts and grocery stores, they have you go down this aisle and you can't go back down that aisle. You have to go around the other one. That doesn't, if you're
style.
If you need to dip in real quick and just grab that cracker and it's right there, I understand. That's not going to make me mad. But when I see the employees wearing their mask wrong, I'm just like, come on,
a bad example.
Like, come on. And I saw some people without even wearing them at all. And we went to the Walmart today in Osceola County, and it is required out front. We went to go pick up some furniture today, and we were in that area, so we got groceries. And out front, it says required to wear protective masks, scarves, bandana, T-shirt, anything will do. Yeah, just wear it. And some people in there weren't wearing it. I was like,
yeah, I know. Costco's been in the news for they're requiring it, which is good. I go to a place, a computer store around here called Micro Center, and I love how they have it set up. They've been staying open because computers are essential or whatever. But you go in, they have a person there that they'll spray your hands. They have masks. They have gloves. They have like. Dude, that's great. That's taking the initiative.
Yeah.
So my brother just got a job at Meyer, and so he's in college still. So essentially, what's going to happen is Meyer and other grocery stores, because they're the only places seeing business, they actually are able to keep on a couple more people every shift, and they're basically just having cleaning committees where they just basically every 15 minutes. So whatever it takes to clean the entire, disinfect the entire store. So they disinfect the entire store and then they turn around and disinfect it the other way back. And they just keep like that's their job the entire time. It's just going back and forth and back and forth. And I'm like, that's cool. They also have the sneeze guards up. I'm a fan of sneeze.
Yeah.
But
I like McDonald's started doing that. I like it.
Yeah, I think.
Do you guys think that they'll how like when you have to, let's say you get fleas or you get some kind of insect thing in your house, you have to bomb it, and you set the bomb off and it disinfects and do you think they'll ever create something that they could like say, hey, Walmart between the hours of midnight and 2 a.m. is a sanitation. They close all the windows, close all the doors, and then they basically like release this chemical that goes on and just basically sanitizes everything. It's safe to be on your skin. It's safe to breathe in, but it just cleans. That would be kind of neat.
If they can I feel like if they can automate that, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm. They could put it in so many different stores and so many different places like that, movie theaters.
Yeah, but think of all that merchandise they're not selling from the hour of 2 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Exactly. Like do it at like that certain time. It's something that could be released in the ceiling, like a spray.
Yeah.
Type something, I don't know. Maybe
like reverse sprinklers.
Yep. I should have been a scientist.
Yeah. God.
Here's what I'll do. I'll think of the idea and then give it to a scientist and be like, we'll split the money. You do it. I thought of the idea.
I'm an ideas man myself. I like that kind of split.
Yeah.
Go to an advanced degree in science, punk rock.
Yeah.
I could work at MIT or I could be in Akron, Ohio in January.
But for real though, like Mississippi has a pretty good music scene. Like they had, and that's where you got your start in Mississippi and the music.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, blessed because there it's like the heroes are Elvis Presley, Oprah Winfrey, and Jim Henson. And it's and Jimmy Buffett. And
let's not forget about Jimmy Buffett.
Dude, Jimmy Buffett's no joke there, man. It's insane. But yeah, like those are the heroes. And like you go into school and stuff, you'll see huge murals of Oprah painted places and Elvis. So I kind of had it pretty easy, like trying to explain to people, like I wanted to do music, but at the same time, it was just kind of like, yeah, right. You're not going to do anything. Cause everyone where I was from, like you kind of did the same thing. You went to school, you went to a college, you got your 4-year degree, you were married and had kids before you were 20 years old. You know what I mean? And it's like, that wasn't for me. Wasn't what my path was supposed to be. And not that I dog on that path, if that's your path and you have it figured out. I unfortunately took the road less traveled of the path of, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do. And it's a lot scarier and can keep you up at night for sure. But music was
be on cool shows like this.
Yeah, there you go. You never thought. No, this was fun. Look, sometimes I get on podcasts and they just want to talk about what I do the entire time. And I'm just kind of like, just go watch a video and you can see exactly what I do. I'd rather just chit chat with people and, talk about random things and just
That's
talk.
What we excel at too. We are so good at just shooting the shit.
Well, we talked about food. We talked about animals. We talked about sports. We talked about a lot of things.
I had a list of things that we were going to talk about, but I was just like, no, we're just going to.
Yeah, you texted me. You were like, we're talking about comfort foods, and we haven't talked about a single comfort food yet. Ooh, fried chicken.
Okay.
But the thing about fried chicken, I think I like the idea of fried chicken more than I like the actual fried chicken, only because I'd rather have chicken strips than mess around with the bone.
Yeah.
There's too much stuff that's not like the meat that you want,
Yeah.
Before we go, Micah, 30 seconds on why the honey mustard at Backlot.
Okay. There's this honey mustard, or anybody who's ever not been to Disney's Hollywood Studios, Disney uses it in certain places, but the best place to get it is at the Backlot Express, and it's a pump yourself honey mustard. I've come to the conclusion that they use mayo, a little bit of mustard, and actual honey in this. And it is the best dipping sauce. You can put it on anything. Your burger, your chicken fingers, your French fries. I mean, I can eat it with a spoon.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
There's something about it. I don't know what it is. It's not too mustardy. Doesn't have a kick. Some honey mustards kind of have a kick to it. This doesn't. Very smooth. It's almost sweet in a way.
So damn good.
There's just something, but I'm telling Disney right now, if any executives are watching, or anybody who has any control, bottle it and sell it, because Chick-fil-A just started doing that with their Chick-fil-A sauce, and I've bought 2 containers in 2 weeks. So consumerism will be made.
I think the last time we hung out at Hollywood, I can't remember where. It's been a couple of times, but you went ham on that.
Dude, we went to the tap house.
Yes,
the tap house, and then we went over there, and I forget if someone was with me. I think Travis was with me. And we went over and we got lunch or dinner there, and I just was like, guys, don't judge me. And I came back with like 6 of those containers. I was like scooping it just to eat the sauce.
No, like
it's that kind of good, dude.
I'm a fan of honey mustard, and we've been talking a long time. I think things got delayed a little bit because of this whole thing, but about doing a Disney vacation and trying to line it up with Tim yourself, because I feel like if I go to Disney by myself right now, it's a waste. When I have,
you need me there.
Encyclopedia that I talk to all the time about it. Yeah. Like it just I feel like so much would be lost on me if I just went alone with no guidance from Tim. That's because I hear about it all the time. And so Tim, you're making the list of where we're going when we go. Put that honey mustard on the list, please.
Oh,
dude,
hell yeah.
Foodie, you could be a foodie at Disney and be the happiest kid in your entire life. From drinks to desserts to snacks. I mean, it's like the world is your oyster.
I almost bought the Galaxy's Edge cookbook.
Oh, I know a lot of people who have, man. Okay. Yeah, the food, every time I've eaten something there, I haven't not liked it. Everything is really, really good.
Yeah.
The only thing I didn't like was the milk, the blue milk thing. But yeah, I mean, there's really nothing bad there. I've tried everything at the restaurant and the quick service thing, the Ronto Wrap thing. Dude, Ronto Wrap's one of those things, like, if I know I'm not going to eat like a sit down, like I know I'm not going to have a burger, but I just need something quick to eat, I'll just walk over and get a Ronto
or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's so good.
Dope. Well, I have had so much fun on this Mother's Day.
Yeah. My mom was
Mother's Day more than 3 kids.
Yeah, to everybody that listens to this, even though you'll probably listen to this well after Mother's Day, call your mothers, call your grandmothers, call a mother. Doesn't have to be yours.
All the pet owners that you feel like you're the mother to the pet. I agree. I'm a cat daddy, so
yeah, I'm a French bulldog dad.
There you go.
French, yeah, of course. I'm surrounded by French bulldogs. Anyway, so without further ado, Tim, where can they find us?
Well, I'll tell you, Nick. You can find us on all the social media at My Tasteful Dudes. That's at My Tasteful Dudes. You can also find us on anywhere that you can find podcasts. Just look up Tasteful Dudes Podcast, and you can get it right from the source at oh crap, what's it called? It's Libsyn something. We're hosted by Libsyn. Never mind. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, and if you can, we would really appreciate it if you do like a review. It helps somehow in stuff.
We've been told it helps.
Yeah,
so please.
And also, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put this out as a 2-part episode because we've been an hour and 15 minutes, and this is going to be hell to edit. So it's probably going to come out in 2 pieces, which will be kind of cool. I just don't know when I'm gonna cut it. But
Micah, where can they find you?
Everything is World of Micah, Micah. I don't use Twitter as much as I used to, but if you do send me something on Twitter, it may take me a while, but I will get back to you on that. But Instagram, always comment on my Instagram post. I will write back. You can send me a private message on there. YouTube mostly is my main thing. Find me at youtube.com/World of Micah. Comment on there. I'm always down to reply to someone. So that's about it. Instagram and YouTube. I do have a Facebook. Don't really use it that much.
Well, did you hit? I saw you were getting close to. Was it 12,000?
I hit.
Heck.
Today, I just hit 12,260.
Holy moly!
So yeah, I'm doing the daily vlog thing lately. Been been doing it for about 2 months straight now. So it's been kind of cool seeing it grow.
Well, we'll have to see each other if I'm ever in Orlando, and same
absolutely
ever in Columbus. Thank you so much for listening on this Mother's Day, and as always, an extra special. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah, sorry, Mom. Buy a T-shirt.
Sorry, Mom.
Okay, we'll see you later. Farts.